If you follow us on Instagram, you already know this, but if you don't, our truck broke down the other day and we ended up having to get it towed back to the house. Cody's a mechanic by trade. He's been doing a ton of work on it. It has a new axle, new shocks, new bearings. He replaced the control arms. He did a bunch of stuff to it that it needed done. It has a lot of wear and tear. We use that thing a ton. And it got new tires, and so therefore the tires need to be balanced and it needed to be aligned, and that's just not something that we can do at our house. We don't have the equipment for it. So took it in town to get balanced and aligned, and on their test drive it actually broke down. It completely died, and they ended up just leaving it in the middle of the road, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. Once we got there, Cody diagnosed it, and it ended up being the crankshaft sensor, so nothing related to anything that he worked on, and it actually is an active recall. However, when we talked to the dealer, there was just a lot of issues in terms of like getting it in for a recall, so Cody decided to do it himself, which means he has to pull the entire transmission to be able to get to the crankshaft sensor. So that's what he's been doing for a couple days. It's a ton of work, especially when we don't have any sort of car lift or anything like that. So he is currently up at the shop finishing that up, and I'm gonna start pulling everything out of the bathroom so that way we can do some tile floors today. If you watched our last video, you know that I did an updated house tour, and so I ended up putting the bathroom cabinet and the laundry dryer combo back in the bathroom, just so that way you could kind of get a feel for what the bathroom is going to look like and the layout that we are going for. Before I pull everything back out, I'll turn the camera around and kind of show you what I mean in terms of our layout, and I decided to make a change. I know, crazy, this would not be a can't contain this video if I didn't decide to change things last minute, but I know how I said that I really liked the green, and I do really like the green, but putting it up against the floors, something just wasn't right. So this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna install the floors, see it all together, and if I still feel like it just doesn't match, then we're gonna end up changing the color of that wall. But first things first, get the floors in before I decide to make any sort of dramatic change like that. Okay, so if you didn't watch the video, we did a bathroom laundry combo because it's a tiny house. This is our stackable washer and dryer. The water heater is going to go into a cabinet, and then there's going to be full cabinets all along here. And I think I'm going to stain them the same dark stain color that are on these pantry cabinets that Cody built for me. The laundry and bathroom is separated by a wall, and then this is about how much space we have in the bathroom. I feel like it's a pretty good size for it being a tiny house, and then we're also going to be replacing this cabinet. It's an older cabinet. We actually bought it at the Habitat for Humanity resale shop, and so it just has a lot of wear and tear, and down on the bottom it's starting to crack. So this is going to be completely replaced. I know it doesn't match the wall. So that's what I'm about to start working on, is pulling everything out so that way we can get to the floors, but the oven just went off. All that's left is the water heater, the washer and dryer, the bathroom cabinet, and the toilet, but all of those things I need Cody for, so as soon as he's done up at the shop, we'll get those out of here and then get to work.
As you guys know, we like to review power stations, so you have updated and accurate information when making a decision on what's best for your home and needs. So without further ado, we're introducing the Jackery 2000 V2 solar generator. Whether you're preparing for a power outage or looking to make a switch to a more eco-friendly, sustainable backup system, this is your answer. Jackery's slogan says it all: small yet mighty. This compact generator packs 2,042 watt-hours of power, and it's designed to replace your traditional fuel-powered generator without the noise, fumes, or hassle. Plus, it's lightweight and easy to move around, making it perfect for both homes or apartments. Pair it with the Solar Saga 200-watt solar panel, and you have an effortless green energy solution. With industry-leading solar conversion rates, it can fully charge the Jackery in as little as 2 hours of sunlight. It's fast, it's efficient, and it's all about sustainability. Jackery is leading the way in green energy, which we personally love. With 2,200 watts of output power, the Jackery can handle large household appliances like refrigerators, microwaves, and even your coffee maker. So when the power goes out, life doesn't have to stop. And what really sets the Jackery apart is its 20 millisecond UPS technology. That means instant power in case of a power outage. Your critical devices like your refrigerator, routers, CPAP machines, and even fish tanks stay powered without missing a beat. It's seamless plug-and-play power that gives you peace of mind. And it's quiet. In quiet charging mode, it operates at just 30 decibels. That's quieter than a library. So whether it's powering your home or devices overnight, it won't disturb you. Plus the foldable handle and compact design make it easy to store when not in use. The Jackery 2000 is more than just a backup generator, it's peace of mind. With a 5-year full warranty, you're covered, and you're making a greener, safer choice for your home. So if you're ready to switch to a cleaner, quieter, and more efficient home power station, look no further than the Jackery 2000 and the Solar Saga 200-watt solar panel. It's instant power with no installation. It has a 12-volt cigarette lighter output, 2 USB-C outputs, a USB-A output, and then 3 110-volt outputs. And a built-in light. Everything you need to know will be linked right down below in the description. And thank you so much to Jackery for sponsoring today's video. Now let's get back.
Who's back? They haven't seen you in like weeks.
Been recovering and working on the truck. Right, so the first thing we're going to do, obviously we're laying tile in the bathroom today, if you didn't know that. So whenever we actually lay the tile, we're going to be starting at the bathtub and working our way out of the room. That way we don't get trapped in the room, obviously. But the issue with that is we're not going to have full-size pieces of tile the whole way down. It's going to be like a half or a quarter tile at the bathtub. So we're going to have to start from this end, lay everything out, including our spacers in between each tile, and then we'll see what our measurement is down at the bathtub.
I'm trying to move him, he's just heavy.
We'll see what our measurement is down at the bathtub, cut all those tiles, and then we can start laying from the bathtub back. So that's basically what I'm doing, is I'm going to start just kind of laying this out, getting some measurements and knowing what we need to cut. I'm going to leave a 1-inch gap in between our living room floor and the bathroom floor. That way we can account for our transition strip that's going to go right here. And please ignore the pattern. Like I said, we're just laying this out for measurements. We're not going to have every tile facing the same way. Or I guess only those two are, but you know what I mean. So this is basically what I was talking about. If you see down here at the bathtub, we don't have enough space for a full-size tile. It's really only going to be like a third of a tile. So we had to lay all this out. That way we can measure the size of this tile, cut them all, because those are actually going to be the first tile that we lay. So that way we can make our way out of the room as we lay. Can you step on that last tile right there? I'm going to push them all together. That way we can make sure all our gaps are tight. It's 3 inches. These are 1/8 inch. Probably want to leave a little bit from the bathtub for expansion. So we probably want to do 3 inches, I'm thinking. All right, let's go cut our first tile.
That actually looks terrible.
So I just put a new blade on this, but honestly, it cut kind of terrible. I think it's because it's a cheap blade, so we might have to go get a new blade.
It just chips the entire design.
That one honestly doesn't look bad.
There's a big chip right there, though. Great.
Yeah, but I'm saying that side cut a lot better than this side did. I think it'll probably be fine because there's going to be a line of caulk right here anyway. All right, now I'm going to go sideways and lay these out just so I can see how many of these little pieces I need to cut. I feel like it cut a little smoother when I went upside down. I noticed whenever I cut the tiles upside down, it chips it a little bit less. It's not quite as noticeable as that first tile, so that's why I'm cutting them upside down, if you were wondering. Let's go check them out. All right, so this was the method to my madness. So, Maya, give me a moment, please. We want to start with full tiles right at the entryway. You don't want cut tiles right at the entryway because it just doesn't look very good. So we had to start and lay out this way. That way we could get our spacing right the whole way so we could cut these little tiles. Got all of our cut tiles cut and laid out. I cut 1/2 tile that goes at this back wall right here. So now we're going to pick everything up, clean the floor, take everything out of the room, we'll mix up some mortar, and then we'll actually start laying the tile. Yeah. Alright, now that all the prep work's finally done, we're gonna go ahead and start mixing up some water. And yeah, I could just pick up the bag and pour a bunch in there, but I'm gonna make it way more dusty in here, so. Stuff smells weird compared to the last stuff we used. Well, this is very liquidy, obviously. It's a lot easier to add powder in and it slowly get thicker than it is to start out really thick and try and thin it, because it really just kind of eats the drill up with how thick it gets, you know? So I like to put water in there first and then slowly add powder to it. Alright, so we mixed it, we let it sit for 5, we mixed it again, now we're ready to start laying tile. We, I think, got a 1/4 by 1/4 size trowel, because that's what it called for this size tile on the bag. Now y'all remember, I'm no tile guy, I'm just your average fella who has done tile a time or two. So, tile guys in the comments, I'm sure you'll tell me I'm doing something wrong, but it is what it is. It worked out fine in the last house. Or how I'm going to start this is we're just going to kind of smear this around everywhere and push it so it kind of starts to adhere to the plywood nice and well. In the old house, I noticed if you just put it down and then immediately do that, they just don't really stick to the wood very well. So I kind of like to smear it in first and then actually go back and put my notches in it. So after I start doing the notches away from the bathtub or the wall, either way, I always kind of look to see how thin they are. So if they're a little too thin, then I'll go back and add a little bit more mortar, and then I'll run the trowel over it again to make some new lines. That way we make sure we have good thick mortar all the way up to the edge. So we definitely don't want these tiles to not stick. And if it squeezes out the side, we can always clean it up later. It's not a big deal. And once we set it down, we kind of want to press it down into the mortar. And you can see how all those gaps right there just kind of get filled in with mortar. That's what we want. If you go this way, it's one turn to the right.
This car is a mess. We're down to one vehicle right now, so the Jeep has been getting the brunt of it all. This is currently the line situation. The booth is up there. It circles all the way around to us, which is a big reason why they say to get here early, but we got here even later. Last time we picked up fish, we were like way in the back, so we're not doing too bad, but it does take
it's definitely a slow line.
Yeah, so we just are hanging out, watching TikToks, listening to music. Oh, we're getting closer. We forgot buckets, so Cody just ran in to Roll King to go get buckets, and then I switched over to the driver's seat so I don't hold up the line, but oops.
How's it going? Cody.
Alright, you already paid?
Yeah.
12 bluegill, 2 pounds of minnows, 3 pounds of minnows and 2 bass.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I don't know how much. Thanks, sir. You have a good day.
You as well.
All right, we let the minnows sit in here and acclimate a little bit. Now I'm gonna go ahead and let them out.
I'm sorry y'all really didn't get to see much, but we turned up the water a little bit too much. So we put in 12 bluegill, 2 bass, and a crap ton of minnows. You can kind of see them swimming around in some of the clear parts of the pond, but they're so tiny, it's really hard to pick up on camera.